And as it says here, reaction and review, and I already said, I'm going to say it again. It's probably going to be more of my reaction than anything. But so far, the series isn't impressive, Kathy. You're introduced to the various main characters, and of course, Gladriel is the key to everything. And I'm not just saying that to be snarky. I'm saying that because that's the fact of what I've just seen from episode one, which is called A Shadow of the Past. And there's a point in this episode where Gladriel, after the death of her brother and she's shedding her tear, she takes his sword and she basically signs up to go battle Sauron and everybody else that they're fighting. And, she gets there into this one area where there's a Mark Sauron, and her soldiers decide after they're attacked that they're not going to follow her. And of course, long story short, we're introduced to each and every character, the different lands. We see Elrond and, of course, Gladriel and a few other characters that we've seen in the trailer for this series. But I gotta be honest, I'm not too impressed with this first episode. I'm gonna wait and see what episode 2 has in store, but from what I saw so far in this first episode, and, you know, Galadriel being the victim, of course, and the key to everything is that so far, if I'm gonna give it a rating out of my rating scale of 1 through 5 when I do my episode reviews, I'm gonna give this 1.5. And I'll be honest, some of the visuals, they spent over $500 million or even close to $1 billion on this series, and some of the visuals, they look cheap. The armor itself that they're wearing, you can tell that it's rubber. I mean, the chainmail that Adriel and her unit are wearing at one point, you can tell it's not actual chainmail, it's just cloth. You can tell that. I mean, this is a billion-dollar company, and this is the best they can do for their costumes? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. It should be much better than that. They they honestly should have tried to get the actual source material instead of going by the Silmarillion. If you're a big fan of Lord of the Rings, I can't see how you would actually like this. I mean, I just watched, the Lord of the Rings trilogy last year, and I went with the extended editions, and I liked those 3 movies more than I liked this first episode. And one of the things that was driving me nuts during this episode is everybody was talking like this. Alan Copeland, Kathy Skywalker, Bucky Icom, thank you for being here. We have a long journey ahead of us. It was just this low monotone acting, and you got a lot more energy out of the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy than you're getting out of this first episode so far. I could stand a lot of things more than I could stand this. Heck, I might even go back and watch No Country for Old Men, and I didn't particularly care for that movie, even though it got all the Oscar buzz and won the awards and everything, and everybody was hyping that movie. I'd rather go back and watch No Country for Old Men. My rating for this episode is 1.5 out of 5. I'm not very impressed.